Right this way, the young hostess says, escorting Annie and I to a small table in the back of the restaurant. Now, passing through the crowded dining room, Cheddar's is much busier than usual. It looks as though every single table is taken. I wonder if she made a mistake and she's soon going to turn us back around and bring us to the waiting area. Here you go. Jessica will be with you shortly. Enjoy. I was wrong. All but one table had been occupied, and this one should have been part of the table immediately to the right. We are so uncomfortably close to the elderly couple beside us that we instantly greet them. Hell, we may as well get to know them. I can see spinach in the old man's teeth from the appetizer that they just finished. So a long-time married couple from nearby, they are a great example of the words broad spectrum. The old man seems kind, he makes great eye contact, and he laughs easily. The woman, on the other hand, resembles an evil stepmother. Her hair is silver and brushed back like a pompadour. And that's probably where she keeps her secrets. Now, she doesn't want to engage much. I can see that she is clearly too busy maintaining her frown. Annie makes eye contact with me and in so many glances agrees with me. This woman has had a stick surgically implanted into her rectum. Our server approaches and introduces herself. Good evening. My name's Jessica, and I'll be taking care of you tonight. Can I get you started with some drinks? Now, Jessica looks to be about 18 years old. Her shoulder-length blonde hair is pulled back in a ponytail. She has an orange-tinted tan and carries herself well. She may need some tips on makeup application, though. It looks like she's going to need a pressure washer to get rid of that later. Sheesh. She looks like she's pretty, but it's kind of hard to tell. Annie is glaring at me and shaking her head. She read my mind. I laugh out loud. Not bad for having only 2 dates. Maybe I should let her know that the makeup is a bit much. And Annie shakes her head slowly. Could we both have water and the spinach dip appetizer? I asked Jessica politely. Sure, I'll put these in and give you guys a few minutes to look over the menu. Jessica closes her notepad and heads for the kitchen on a mission. You shouldn't have ordered that dip, the old woman tells us, her face apparently still angry with her for sticking around. We ordered it, and it was not very good at all. Now I'm confused. The plate on their table was obviously the spinach dip, which I know all too well since Annie and I order it every time we eat here. But it's been scraped clean. Now, I suppose I can assume the old man ravaged it. I did see the half-pound of slimy leaves woven through his choppers. And Annie replies ever so diplomatically. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We order it every time we come and we love it. Or maybe they have a new chef. Oh, she's good. That's her way of saying, I will cut you if you insult my food again. Oh, it's always bad here, the hag snorts. I happened to catch a quick glance at the old man, and I swear I saw him roll his eyes ever so slightly. I do a double take and chase it with an internal smirk. I like this guy a little bit more now. Are you folks from around here? Annie inquires. Yes, we're locals. All the restaurants here are subpar, she tells us. Now, part of me wants to just blurt out, then why are you here, demon? Is hell full? But I know better. I ignore the comment as I realize this woman is just miserable anyway. I can already feel my happiness waning merely from her proximity to me. Jessica returns with an oversized tray of full plates for our neighbors. Setting it down on the mini stand, a small hot sauce bottle tips over on the tray. It was closed, thankfully, but it made a rather loud noise and evidently made her nervous for a moment. The old woman sighs loudly, apparently upset with the blatant abuse of the hot sauce, and she is obviously a woman of principle. Probably drinks sparkling water from water company. Now, Jessica emits a very quiet, nervous laugh. I'm sorry about that. Here you go, she says as she places a plate in front of the woman. A large steak, mashed potatoes, and steamed vegetables cover the entire dish. This doesn't look medium, the lady remarks snidely. Well, let's cut it open and see how close we are, Jessica replies very cleverly, as the woman hasn't even looked at the inside yet. Now, watching out of the corner of my eye, I watch her cut the steak open, revealing a center as medium can be. It'll have to do since we're in a hurry anyway, she says. Okay, well, let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, Jessica says as she places the man's plate before him. A salad is the only thing on the platter, and a pathetic one at that. His shoulders drop ever so slightly, and I see him glance quickly at his wife's meaty smorgasbord. Jessica makes her way over to us, and we begin to place our order from the menu. Now, while Annie is ordering, I hear the man say, Helen, we need to eat quickly. We need to be at the clubhouse in less than an hour. Helen. She doesn't look like a Helen. More like a Balthrock, destroyer of worlds. I wonder how many centuries she's been up here on ground level. I know that, Howard. I know how to tell time. Howard. Yeah, he looks like a Howard. He's a good guy. His beige sport coat with leather elbow patches screams, Professor. His round shape tells me that, well, maybe the salad was his decision, and he's trying to curb an ongoing struggle. Struggle. Respectable, Howie. Good for you. And what can I get for you, sir? Jessica interrupts my visual stalking of the elder's table. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I please get the appetizer sampler? Sure. I'll have those right out to you shortly. Now, Annie and I begin chatting about what's next on the day's agenda. Most likely we'll head next door to the mall and just shop for a little while. And in the meantime, we are both thoroughly enjoying the free entertainment provided to us. Every chance we get, we are either subtly watching or listening to Howie and Balthrock's interactions. Taste this, Howard. It's not very good. Howard takes a bite of the hefty steak and seems to really enjoy it. I think it's delicious. What don't you like about it, dear? It doesn't taste like it's supposed to, she responds. Now, Annie and I look at each other with faces that match and say, what does that even mean? And we chuckle. Now, moments later, Jessica delivers our food. This is the greatest part. Now, maybe it's just me, but when you can see your food coming from across the room, it's almost magical. Time slows down. A soft, berry white tune can be heard above the noise of the other diners. Now, placing our dishes in front of us, Annie and I are excited. We really do love eating here. And needless to say, it's but a fleeting thought before Helen blurts out, "Take this steak back. I can't eat this. I told you it wasn't medium." I glance over to the plate that she's lifting towards Jessica, and I can see that her slab of delicious meat is more than half gone. And for a woman Helen's size, that's a feat, let alone that she has wholly devoured the potatoes and the vegetables. And as she hands the plate to the server, who, at this point, I actually start to feel bad for, I get a direct view of the steak center. Perfectly medium. Howard subtly shifts his gaze up to Jessica, shakes his head slightly, and mouths the words, "I'm sorry." "I don't want another one. Just take it off the bill, dear," Helen demands. There's the slightest bit of a pause before Jessica agrees and takes the plate away. Anyone with half a brain knows what she is thinking. Now, Annie and I begin chatting again and enjoying our food. I daydream about this dish, and it's been a while since we've been here, so I'm really in the zone. Now, momentarily looking up from my binge, I notice that Annie is intently watching Howard out of the corner of her eye. I glance over and see him staring at his watch, undoubtedly apprehensive about making this clubhouse deadline. Poor Howie. Now, I briefly consider reaching my arm out and patting him on the shoulder as if to say, I'm sorry you married the Queen of Darkness, old friend, but cheer up. Then I decide against it. Wouldn't be difficult, though. I'm literally rubbing elbows with the guy. He's that close. Jessica returns for what she thinks is the final round. Can I get you guys anything else? No thanks, we'll just take the check. Howard chimes in really quickly as to avoid any conflicting orders. Actually, I'd like some dessert, the dark minion growls. Dear, we don't have time for dessert. We should have left 10 minutes ago, Howard barks in a very restrained manner. I'm a grown woman, Howard. If I want dessert, I have my God-given right to dessert. Give me the chocolate cake, dear. And I'll have a coffee, I guess. And with that, Howard officially shut down. Silence. Now, we could feel the tension from them, as well as from poor Jessica, but we did our best to ignore the whole fiasco. Don't make eye contact, don't engage. I'll just be sure to tip the poor thing better than I normally would. She clearly deserves it. Now, moments later, our server arrives to take our empty plates and bring the check. I immediately hand her my card and get everything situated. And as I do, she places a hot cup of coffee before Howard and a plate of enormous chocolate cake in front of the devil. And even I am envious of that sugary monstrosity. I'm going to go to the bathroom before we go, Annie says to me. I'll be right back. Okay. Now, sitting there for a few minutes, I watch Lucifer eat her cake in such a manner that says, Howard, you're not the boss of me. Watch how slowly I can eat this cake, Howard. Howard. Now, I know she hasn't actually said any of this, but I can feel it, and I don't like her a little bit more now. So finally, out of patience and at my wit's end with the fallen one here, I decide to grab Annie's purse and make my way towards the front of the restaurant so I can meet her. I stand up, I put on my jacket, and I literally have to squeeze between the two tables. And I whisper, "Excuse me, sir," to Howard as I'm about to put my blue jean ass next to his coffee. And sliding just a bit further, I can finally reach Annie's things. Now, once my hand grabs hold of the purse strap, I feel a very familiar sensation. It's that gurgle that happens in your stomach after taco night. The warning that your body gives you before it's too late. And in a moment of mental clarity, I realize that the stars have aligned and everything has come together. My ass is almost on top of Helen's half-eaten chocolate cake. Now, this is my chance. I have a round in the chamber ready for deployment. Team warm tropical breeze en route to the target. I could let this thing out slowly and silently and just ruin her entire evening. I would do it for Howard. I would do it for America. Now, pretending to face difficulty reaching for Annie's purse, I begin flexing my stomach muscles. Things start to shift. I feel the magic drop down a level. Now it's ready. I slowly inhale, I close my eyes, and I open the rear hatch. It's go time. Now, what I expected to be a swift, silent breath of hot, glazed garbage was actually a very long, loud quack It was as if I'd been smuggling a duck in my ass for the last 40 minutes and he just came up for air. This thing had to scream for about 4 solid seconds. And admittedly, it's one of those things when I realized how loud it was and there was no getting around it, I just embraced it. I pushed harder. I squeezed tighter. I gave Helen everything that she deserved. Now, I hurried away and I made a break for the bathroom where I was hoping Annie was by now. And I finally got there. She was surprised to see me stand there. She takes her stuff and says, "Why do you look all shifty and nervous? Did you not pay?" So we scamper to the car and I tell her what happened. She laughs hysterically at the irony of it all, but we both agree that the act was warranted. Now, we like to think that even Howard, deep down inside, was joyous at this karmic event, and maybe being late for the clubhouse was worth it now. Now, there are very few moments in our lives that allow us to essentially take a dump on a deserving recipient's plate, and even when presented with the opportunity, we turn it down. Well, not this time. Not on my watch. For Howard.